Saturday, is that right?
We're live, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
it
is.
is.
We are doing race
Solid
8
intro.
through
Okay, I
11.
crammed. I crammed well for tests when I was younger, so I'll cram.
Late pick for Saturday. We're here, everybody. Everybody out there, we are here. Hugh Williams, my favorite guy
Live.
out there, is
Yeah,
one of my favorite people.
he's a big fan of ours. But yes, good
He's a good
evening,
dude.
everybody. As you can see, we have quite the A team joining us tonight. We are going to kick it off. Santa Anita starts tomorrow with a pack day. We're going to give you the late pick for Saturday's card, as it is all the stakes races for that day. And as you can see, we have the beautiful G. Randall Johnson, the beautiful, extremely beautiful truck stop burrito, AJ Ryder.
I got extremely.
I know, that's messed up.
Wow.
Yeah, you stumbled last
adjectives.
time. Me, Mrs. Big News, Sarah Marie. We got Hollywood Tom joining us back from vacation.
Extremely beautiful Hollywood Tom.
And the extremely beautiful.
No, I didn't even get a beautiful, but
I did. I gave you one.
Oh yeah. Well, and then we
Thank
have
you.
the beautiful, and we're excited to have Benny on finally on our show. Benny Southstreet. Check him out on Twitter. By the way, check our Twitter out. Benny is doing his free trip notes for tomorrow. So
That's
there is
great.
a link on his Twitter as well as our Twitter, Degen Nation's Twitter as well. Make sure click that link, go sign up. It's unbelievably helpful.
Yeah,
just check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
If I'm being honest, we are getting paid for it. It's just not by the general public, which is how we usually offer the product. But yeah, so we do trip notes, and Santa Anita was kind enough to kind of fit the bill for everybody. So if you head to their site and sign up, you'll get an email confirming everything, and for the entire meet, you'll get it for free. So it's pretty cool, especially if you like to watch replays like me.
And replays are where it's at.
The whole meat? The whole meat is free?
The whole meet. So yeah,
Wow.
typically we
Wow.
charge $14 a card. So it's like, it's like 220 some bucks, which we'd normally charge from people, but they've been good to us. So we did the golden hour for them through the winter and spring meet, and it went well. And I think we helped drive some handles. So they're kind of up in the ante a little bit, if you will. So there's some good info
awesome.
in there for sure.
That's fantastic.
And
Yeah,
look,
that's a
link. I don't. You sent that link out, Sarah? It's on the Triple Clown site.
Yeah, it's on our Twitter,
Cool.
and
Okay.
it's also on
Definitely.
Benny's Twitter as well.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to flex on all these guys, but Benny, I have been a subscriber since before you started charging. Actually, before the website went
Nice.
live, and when
Yeah.
we first started, I
we
was
go.
all over it.
Here we
AJ,
go.
That's
can you
awesome.
do me a favor? Can you do me a favor,
Yes.
AJ? You got something
No,
brown
I
on
would,
your nose?
I would never
mind
do
just-
you a favor anyway. So why would I
Just
start now?
getting that stuff off your nose, AJ.
I'm just saying, I'm excited to have Benny here. Like I know that.
Okay,
I've
well,
known this guy for,
listen,
like, quite
and
some
no,
time.
I'm excited too for Benny. And just to remind you, Benny, I don't know if you know or not, these other two guys you see on the side of us here, AJ and Tom, they do Off the Rail show, and they do a little bit of more of,
Like Delaware.
they're
Delaware
getting
Parks.
it. Yeah, they're doing that.
More of
So
smaller tracks.
they're
Yeah.
stepping up their game. Well, AJ's been with us for a while, and so is Tom, but I'm just busting them.
Wait,
Um,
why am I like the,
No,
the
now
third
you're
wheel? Like,
reminded.
I've
You're
also
sent
kind of
down
been
for
here. I've been here
rehab.
since the
You're
start.
sent down for rehab.
Come on.
Oh.
I didn't even drug rehab. Settle down. But thank you, Benny, for coming on. This is awesome.
Thanks,
Are you
Benny.
excited? You must be excited about Saturday's card, Benny, right?
Yeah, I've been going through it, as right before we got on. So yeah, these last races are pretty good. I love these turf races. So turf racing in California always used to be kind of like if I'm being honest, the turf horses just don't match up, right? So the back east horses have a huge advantage, but because of the ship and winds, the horse population of turf horses that's come to California has really grown, and the fields are deeper. The strength of races are becoming deeper, and I'm hopeful that in another year or two, when we ship back east, we'll be able to compete with some of those horses. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I love the turf racing, and I like some of these other races also. So looking forward to the weekend for sure.
How excited are you for the downhill to be back?
Man, I'm so excited. So, I was the guy. I've got kind of a checkered past. We won't get into that today, but
I love it.
when I was, yeah, it wasn't too long ago where I love that turf course, and I actually snuck kind of not out onto the course, obviously, but there's a little home over there, right? So there's like a little cottage, and I'm not sure who lives there. I want to say it might be the Santa Anita superintendent, but I kind of snuck over there and watched them run towards me and make the right-hand turn when no one was there.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable.
yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful anyway. It's beautiful anyway, but when you're there and you can hear them and the hooves are getting louder and louder, and then they make that right-hand turn and you can hear the silks and just, in a flash, they're gone. It's a pretty special place, and I'm excited that they have it back.
I am too. I'm just afraid that you just went live and said you committed a felony, probably. And
No, that's a misdemeanor. Trespassing.
Yeah,
That's
familiar with
nothing,
all the
nothing none of us hasn't done.
Trespassing. Come on.
Oh boy.
Like, AJ has like 15 restraining orders against those horses that were probably running, oddly enough. So it's okay.
No, but it's good. Yeah,
That's awesome. We're looking forward to
I mean,
it.
I know I know why they got rid of it. I mean, I understand why. There were some statistics and what have you, but the course that they built, they were running over the dirt anyway, and I really don't like that. You can see horses shy, and the flow of racing changes just as much on the flat as it does on the downhill. Granted, the velocity is different coming down the dip, but yeah, I think the horses respond in the same way that they do down the hill as they do on the straight.
Absolutely. And when you change over to dirt, you can't not change the dirt. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you have an outside a turf track. That's it. If the turf track's on the inside, you can't do it. So for anybody that doesn't know, that's not physics. What would that be? Geometry? I have no idea. Whatever.
Geometry, yeah, some type of geometry.
Yeah, you can't do that. So that's awesome.
It's like the whole radius thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that. We're excited though. So let's get into it, guys. So we're doing a late pick for Saturday. Exciting times. Big day.
Huge.
Last really big day at Santa Anita. I mean, it's going to be great days. Last big day for the winning your ins out here. So let's talk about it.
All right, let's start race 8, which is the Grade 2 Santa Anita Sprint Championship. This is a win in your end for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. 6 furlongs, $200,000, 3-year-olds and up. AJ, I'm almost afraid to start with you, but let's hear it.
Let's do it. Vertical Threat's on my ticket, and I'm gonna let you guys explain why, because go for it. My big thing was I didn't want to include too deep or anything. So I was kind of deciding between Shivel, CZ Rocket, Flagstaff. I'm going to throw in Flagstaff. The one thing now I have to decide whether I want Dr. Shivel or CZ Rocket on my ticket. My ticket's a little expensive because I do think there's certain places where there could be a lot of good prices. So CZ Rocket scares the living daylights out of me. I get it. He's been so good, but I've been saying for the longest time to fade these kind of older sprinters in these kind of races. So I'm deciding this right now. Dr. Shivel ran really well at Santa Anita in that allowance race.
Oh, you're right. Santa Anita.
No, at the Santa Anita, the allowance race. I've said a lot of times that Bing Crosby was the second slowest in history. So coming back to Santa Anita, he's the favorite. I don't want to be out in the first leg because I didn't include him. So I guess so I'll go Vertical Threat, Flagstaff, Dr. Shivel.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 5.
Yeah.
Throwing CZ Rocket out off the Lasix. Hasn't won since been off the Lasix. Flagstaff off the Lasix.
But it's proved he can run without it. I mean, he's still been competitive without it. But
All right, you know where I'm going here. Where do we go now? Benny, you want to jump in here and give us this, or you want Tom to go?
Yeah, sure. So, I don't see a whole lot of speed in here. Vertical threat is fast, but he is shortening up. I've got an angle that works pretty well with Bill Spar, and I think Colt Fiction is worth paying attention to here. Spar is absolutely dead on the drop. Like, he drops, my red marker's out, I draw a line through my racing form. But when he rises, he's gold, and he sees something I think pretty special in Colt Fiction right now. If you watch that tape, it's not really identified in the PP running line, but there were 4 horses hooked and dueling in that race, and there was a perfect tripper that was like 4 or 5 lengths back, and Fiction just kind of ran that other speed into the ground and held really, really gamely through the lane. So he's a use for me. If Vertical Threat doesn't break well, I think he's going to be deterred, and Colt Fiction can control the speed. And I also think Collusion Illusion is kind of interesting. People really talked him up in that 5 furlong sprint. He was coming off a break. He was running on a surface that he wasn't, that he had never run on. It was the first time he had run without Lasix. Pratt stuck with him. He was just out of the race throughout, and I don't see that happening today. They put blinkers on. I think he's going to get a good tracking trip. And some of those other sprinters that he was running again, I mean, he ran fine against CZ Rocket back at Santa Anita over the same surface. And the Charlatan race, there's nothing bad about that race at all. If he's ready, he could be interesting. The others are logicals, but from a value perspective, like I don't care if I get knocked out early. It doesn't matter to me. So to me, it's about having the kind of you got to be brave enough to get bounced. So if Shiva wins, that's fine, but he does draw the rail. That Santa Anita surface is different too. Down inside is really, really awful. That dirt is heavy. When they get hit with kickback, and he will, he's going to have to find a clear path. So he's going to be a toss for me. CZ is going to be a favorite. Flagstaff's interesting. He's second off the layoff, and he might be my 3rd choice overall. But from a value perspective, the 3 and the 6 are both interesting. The 3 will be my top pick for sure.
I love it. Let me go next because I have a lot of things to add on that, and I'll forget. A couple things there. Vertical Threat, number 1, probably should hit the lid and go to lead and catch me if you can. I mean, let's face this. You don't know any of the, but probably that this is my favorite horse in the world. I know the horse. He's a jerk, and and everything. And shout out to Jeff out there. I know Jeff loves him too. And Jeff said gate to wire. But here's the deal with him. He does. You said it exactly. If he turns his head and it gets angry, he's done, and that's what he is. And another thing, the dirt is really deep right now. It really is, and that could come into, like you just said, the sand is different there right now, especially, is a good point. Collusion Illusion, I want to say also, raced with blinkers the other day. They're throwing blinkers on. Looked great. Broke sharply. Went out the gate in his last work. And I watched it. Broke really well. So that's a good call with Collusion Illusion.
Well, that's interesting. You have 2 my racehorses in here. I didn't notice that just till now.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
A lot of my racehorses.
I wonder who's on the payroll.
That's a big, but there we go. All right, here we go. I'm trying to be honest. I'm just telling you my insight to it. And I do think, but I love Vertical Threat, and I do like. I mean, if the Vertical Threat shows up, and I'll start my pick right now. The fact that he's got the highest number in there, the highest last race number in there as well. The fact that he went 7, goes to the lead, send blazing fractions with a turn. He's 6-1 is insulting. I love it, but it's insulting. But it's funny you talked about Colt Fiction, because I said the 2 longest shots on the board might be 1-2 in this race. And I thought the same thing. I thought Vertical Threat, Colt Fiction, I think they might go around the turn together, and that might be your exacta. So if I don't single Vertical Threat, honestly, it would be Colt Fiction with him. If I go 3 deep, it'll be Collusion Illusion. Flagstaff is going to try to run on the hip of Vertical Threat. Don't think he can do it. And I don't think CZ Rocket can come from behind. And Dr. Shovel, I don't think is real. I don't. I think he's real. He's an actual horse.
He's a real horse.
What is he, like a unicorn? Mythical?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, does it concern you though that the Brickyard Ride has been kind of garbage, and that's the horse that beat him last time? That's like the one reason I didn't pick that horse.
Well, but the early speed, and you're right. And I think that might be something where if he runs second, he still might run second. He might need to lead around the turn, right? And Brickyard Ride's going to beat him to the turn. And that's just what's going to happen. And that's what happened that race.
Well, but these older horses in Flagstaff, CZ Rocket, and obviously Whitmore, but we still got CZ Rocket and Flags. They don't seem to go away. And as much as I've been trying to fade them for as long as I can, like as long as I've tried to, and again I told Chip, I'm like, dude, these older sprinters are not it anymore. They're still always around.
Yeah, no, and
it's hard to throw them.
True. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And Keith, you're absolutely correct. Where if Flagstaff can sit on the hip, we'll see what Vertical Threat has coming home. Because I think there's no doubt if he misses his break, which he has before, he's been popping. But if he misses his break, that could be weird. It could just change the whole race. But if he doesn't miss his break and he goes to lead and CZ can sit in his pocket, or at least like 2 or 3 lengths back, we're going to see what we have coming home here. And that's it. So I do like obviously Flagstaff's going to have a good stalking trip because Flagstaff usually has more speed in front of him than one horse. Right. And he's got 1 this time. Really. This is great.
Yeah, the race is pretty open. I think a lot of horses can win that race.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a good looking race.
So I'm probably going to single Vertical Threat. But
wow.
Honestly, I'll probably play 2, 3, 6. I like Collusion Illusion's last work. I like him with the blinkers on first time. I like him at 7 more than 6 though, a lot more, and we'll see.
Okay. Well, no surprise there. I also took Vertical Threat. He's my boy.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. I also did play CZ Rocket, someone we talked Flagstaff, CZ Rocket, Flagstaff, CZ Rocket. Flagstaff, he's a beautiful horse. I think I don't see him performing as well as he has been. And CZ Rocket's another one that I'm hoping to see one more great performance out of him. And what I mean by great is a stronger. He's been doing all right, but I feel like he's kind of lost that little zest that he had the end of last year, even early this year. But
it's called Lasix.
I know.
But he's still
let me tell you something.
Well.
There's nothing wrong with that last race. Ginobili's been running out of his
a monster.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that's what it is
a monster.
And CZ Rocket he's always raced with monsters, but more for a while. Flagstaff's always been there in those races. Yep. And yeah, you're right. Ginobili is a monster. No, there was nothing wrong. I'm playing him because I like this horse. I have been a fan of this horse for a while, but I'm going to put him with my boy, 2-4 here.
So in other words,
I don't think you're wrong.
All right, Tom, what do you got?
Wow. Well, I love this race because these horses have faced each other so many times. It's a very interesting. It's an interesting race. It's almost like an old school race where these horses have seen each other. Do they know each other? Who knows? But it's just, you're looking at the past performances. You're looking at the replays. It's like, oh, you can learn so much because they face each other so many times. That's what I love about this race. Now, the next race, more so than this race, is an interesting pick for me because it's the first racing of this meet. Want to see especially how the turf course is laying out. So, but with that said, for this particular race, I do have Vertical Threat. I like that Bravo is no longer on him. Kind of throw that race out the window. I mean, his last race, he's not exactly racing against Secretariat. And
who does, Tom? Like, who does?
Thank you.
Come on.
And I got to keep the doctor on my ticket. I mean, he's hot. He's beat the vertical. He's beat almost everybody in this race, and I'm staying with him. And unfortunately, I have the same ticket as AJ right now. One of the old men, Flagstaff. I think he could come off the pace. He's got that little bit of a late kick. He's not gonna come out of the gate hot, but he does have a little bit of that late kick, and he could. This horse has beaten me one too many times, and if he beats me again, he can't beat me again. So I'm definitely putting him on my tickets. So I've got Scheibel, Vertical, and Flagstaff.
And look,
right, 1, 2, 5 for you.
The king of Delaware, the jester, has to follow.
Oh, okay.
You guys did the same thing.
All right.
Okay, so first of all, we want to say that Sarah and I just want to say after this race, all we know is we're going to.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got one of those too.
With Vertical Threat. That's right. Lock it down. Vertical Threat's winning. And that's what we do here.
Do it.
I know Jeff loves that we just did that. But there he is. You got it too. All right. See, thank you, D-Rest, for sending us these.
Shout out to D-Rest for that. That's awesome.
And we wanted to do that. But okay, so we have that, the first race. It seems like this is pretty wide open. We talked a lot of shit. And honestly, Vertical Threat, as much as we talk about him, at 6-1, we talked a lot about him. And Colt Fiction, Benny mentioned, which I actually thought the same thing a little bit about that horse. So interesting, we have bigger prices on a 6-horse field. So cool.
But that Vertical is going to go down once, like every My Race horse goes down.
No, they're not. They don't have many owners. No, because Collusion Illusion will take all that money.
The bulk of it.
He's not going to get that.
That's right. Yeah, because Vertical Threat only has like the 10 or 20 owners or something, right?
Well, not more than that, but not.
It's like Randy and Sarah, and then like 6 other people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I like Jeff's comment where he said VT loves new tracks. It's first time racing on the dirt at Santa Anita. He ran on the turf.
Yeah, he's raced at Santa Anita before,
but not on the dirt.
Right.
The one knock against him from a trips perspective with Vertical Threat is he adores tight turns. Like he was getting pressured in that first turn at Charlestown, and he cut a corner, and he was able to take a deep breath and had plenty left. So it's one of the reasons why I actually got off of him a little bit.
It's so funny you say that, because I told people before, and like obviously, like I watched him run, I said he's fearless around turns. So, and like I said yesterday with Chip, don't be surprised if he runs second here or whatever, or even if he wins later on, seeing him in that downhill, because he's crazy, and he accelerates around turns and he doesn't slow down. And that's the thing. So he loves the ball.
He might be left-footed. It's a crazy thought, but sometimes these horses they have a certain, it's like humans with their right foot and left foot. I'm not sure which one would lead well to making a left-hand turn. I would assume it'd be left foot.
If you actually watch his stride, he's really close with his. I don't know. I want to get into it, but he's really close to his right to his left. It's weird. So you'd see him like digging more on the other side. So that's just me seeing him. But I actually talked about that yesterday.
Interesting.
Yeah. I agree. And also deep sand. He's a stocky little horse that's heavy. I don't know if he's going to like the deep stand. I don't. That's why I like the mud before, because it's harder. If he ran on pavement, he'd beat any of these by 100.
Well, I can speak from somebody that's stocky and heavy. I don't like deep sand either. So
I struggle. Tired, right? It's weird. I'd rather walk on the boardwalk than the sand. I mean, it takes time.
How it is. Yeah. All right, well, let's go on to race 9. It's the Grade 1 Rodeo Drive Stakes, 1.25 miles on the turf for the filly and mares. This is a win, and you're in for the filly and mare turf. We got $300,000 at stake. AJ, who do you like here?
Well, Timeform just logged me off, probably because of you guys. And so I don't have the PPs in front of me right now, but I'll give you quick notes of what I've got. Going to Vegas, who's 3 of 4. numbers don't lie. I don't think you can leave her off the ticket. And then the other horse I really like is that, and I'll butcher the name like I do most every time we're on here, is Nige Blanchet. Is that right?
Oh wow.
Blanche.
I think that
Nige Blanche? Is
Blanche.
that what it is?
pretty
Nige
close.
Blanche.
Probably.
2 for 4 this year, has looked super strong, has beaten me before. 100%. Hold on. Let me log it back in.
Do you want me to come back to you?
No, I'm coming in now. You guys kicked me out probably. Now I'm on Monmouth. Now I'm on Monmouth Park for Friday. Thanks a lot, guys.
Cool.
Yeah. If we want to talk about Monmouth on Friday, I clearly have the PPs right in front of me right now. No, but I mean, I didn't have a whole lot to talk about this race. There was a lot I really liked, and there was a lot I really didn't like.
All right, awesome. Let's move on.
Look, come back to me.
Your thoughts.
I
We'll
don't
go
have
back to it. Don't worry about it. All right. Listen, I'm going to go Homer as well. I think going to Vegas could just steal this race really easily. And I'm not being Homer here. Stop. It's just like if this horse's name was John Smith, I'd say this horse can definitely run. Dog Tag was coming from behind last time. Could so that's an interesting one. But I really, really like the 4. I like going to Vegas here a lot. Luck, obviously, the weird part is, me and my jockey switches, right?
Mhm.
If you look, Pratt jumped to Luck.
Yep.
And that's something to be said. I mean, who knows? We always talk to jockeys, and there's more to it than just that. But I think this is a 2-horse race with those horses, quite honestly. And I know it's dead chalk. Sorry, everybody. I bet Red Lark last time, and it ran a good race. But I think that horse needs more. I think that horse needs like a mile and a half to be in the mix here. So I'm just gonna go 4-8, and that's it. Sorry, I'm taking a chalk. That's all right because I singled a 6-1.
All right. Well, I did go into Vegas as well. I think that she's coming off of 2 strong performances at Del Mar, won a grade 3 at a mile and corner at Santa Anita before, but I also like Dog Tag. I mean, strong performance against going to Vegas in his last race.
Yeah.
This was another one. Back in June, he raced a mile and a quarter at Santa Anita and the Possibly Perfect Stakes with a really decent performance there. I think it's going to be between those 2 again. I think we could see another 2-horse race between them like the last race.
And you're a big fan of the jockey. So let's move on.
I am not. Not a huge Joe Bravo.
Okay, hold on. Because
you're back?
Okay, yes, I'm back. So Nage Blanche, whatever the name is, and going to Vegas. I'm going to just do those 2. But Dog Tag is the horse I'm going to, if I chicken out, like a lot of times I will do when I put in the bet for the final time. Dog Tag is the one who I've actually liked for a long time. And last time out in that maybe nearly fell face first into the dirt. But 4 starts, 4 seconds this year, which eventually you got to think like, okay, maybe they get one. And the thing I wish I wouldn't have forgotten when I didn't have it in front of me is the fact that Randy will be sure to bring up the Rispoli jump off of this horse, who Rispoli has ran on this horse for the last 2 years. Well, here's the thing. Last time this horse won, Rispoli wasn't even on the horse. So
your boy Pratt.
I get it. I'm not a huge fan of Joe Bravo either. But if I were going to include one more horse, but I'm not going to, I like the 8-1 I have in the 3, and I like going to Vegas. I might chicken out and choose Dog Tag because I don't know. I have this weird kind of I'm rooting for this horse type of thing.
All right, so you're going 1, 4, 8. Is that correct?
Well, I'm going
no
4, 8. Where did you get the
3, 4?
3, 4, 8. I'm sorry.
3, 4.
3, 4.
3, 4 for sure. I might chicken out and throw in the 1.
Oh, all right. All right. So we have that. Benny, what about you? What do you think?
I love Luck. I absolutely love
So do
Luck.
I.
Yeah, it's a great
Oh,
show,
isn't that the
right?
worst?
I love Luck. If I wish it was still around. But yeah, if you watch that tape, there is just like this was a monster performance, and it doesn't really show up. She left the chute, she steadied, she lost a couple lanes, she found the rail, and was kind of just she rated kindly. Head into the turn, she was just loaded, absolutely loaded, and Umbi, instead of going around, he nibbled at her a couple times, and she exploded up into a hole, and then he slammed on the brakes, and he put her on hold. And then when a gap opened, he gave her a couple more hand shoves, and she found open air on the outside, and she just blitzed the field. If you watch her in the stretch, it's frightening. I'm not a big fan of speed figures on turf for one reason, and that's slow paces make for slow races. This was a slowly run race early, and that's why the speed figure is not very good. But she made a mockery of that field, and I think she's super talented. Umberto never even considered using the whip on her, and she parked. So I think she's well met. I think she shows up here, and I think she has this field. I could potentially single her. I likely won't because the other. I really like her a lot. I don't think much of the others, if I'm being honest. Neige Blanche, I thought had a perfect trip last time, covered up, eased off the rail, had a clear shot, had a perfect trip. I thought Going to Vegas had a perfect trip. Some stalking trips on the turf aren't very good, but this one was very, very good. She was all by herself. There was nobody around. Nobody made an early move, so she was able to just relax and sprint for home. She did what she should have done. But if you look at her prior form, I mean, she beat claimers when she did run against better. She got beat in the Gamely. I have nothing bad to say about the one or the two. They both had compromised trips due to the pace and flow. They were both trying to rally wide into what was a very, very slow pace last time with going to Vegas. Cristal didn't like it all. Ride for the Cause kind of had a neutral journey and was just kind of average. The one that's kind of sneaky to me is Magic Attitude because she ran up against some absolute monsters. What I mentioned earlier was, the back east turf horses are just better.
East Coast.
There's just no way around it. They're just better. And while it doesn't really appear to be much, those fillies and mares are so much better than these. That would be one I couldn't possibly throw out just because of that angle. But I could potentially single Luck. Probably won't. I'll probably use Magic Attitude also. But if you read my notes and go back and watch that replay, I'd encourage you to watch the replay. She is very, very impressive. So,
absolutely
6-8 for me.
Awesome.
All right, so 7-8.
7-8.
7-8. You mean right?
Apologies, 7-8. Yeah,
7-8. 7-8 for you. Awesome. And when he said East Coast, he didn't mean Delaware Park. He meant the New York tracks, Tom. So,
well, he also Magic Attitude has been working on at Fair Hill, and I've seen this horse with my own eyes work out a couple times, and that was a little bit, seeing this one of these horses. I like it. I have that angle myself, the East Coast angle, because I am an East Coast guy, but we do have better turf. That horse looked really, really sharp up close and personal at Fair Hill over the past month. The one question I did have for you, Benny, and I liked Luck. The one thing that it concerned me, but it obviously is not concerning you, but I'm just trying to learn that big layoff is no concern for you, I guess. I mean, I saw that last race looked like a freaking gorilla. But what is he? Maybe 2 month layoff? No concern for you?
No, I think this is primed for Breeders' Cup. So, to me, what are you going to do if you run at the end of Del Mar? You don't get to this race. It's just that spacing. There is no turf at Los Al. Obviously she's not going to run during Los Al. This to me looks prime.
Yeah, and there's
actually I think it fits the
Okay.
calendar well.
Yeah, there's no way that
That's
we'll find a
interesting.
race,
Okay.
probably, yeah. In this race.
But along with the 7, I do have going to Vegas the 4. I mean, just and the 1. I mean, that was talked about, horses going against each other. That was a hell of a race between Dog Tag and Vegas. I mean, Vegas hit 107 last race, which was pretty damn impressive. And Dog Tag, nothing to be ashamed about, losing to Going to Vegas. So I have 147 here, and like I said, this is going to be interesting. Turf race. It's always going to be interesting, but really interested to see how these races are going to come. Is it going to be turf off the pace? Will it be front runners winning? Want to see how this course lays out, especially with it being the first racing of this meet. And
I mean, going global.
We don't call it.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say we don't call it. Is it the Rodeo Drive Stakes or the Rodeo Drive Stakes? I mean, I am in Delaware, so
clearly a guy who's never been to Los
Have
Angeles.
some class. It's Rodeo.
Coming from Delaware, it's Rodeo.
You're not Hollywood. Come on.
I know. I'm
wearing
just
that shirt. You never should have asked that.
Oh goodness gracious!
I'm kidding. Bad joke.
Going off the
Bad
rails.
joke.
You're the guy who says
Well-
south of Houston Street, too, right? Is that Soho, south of Houston?
Well, anyway, let's go on to race 10. We have the Grade 1 Awesome Again Stakes. This is a win, and you're in for the Classic. We got a 1 1/8 on the dirt, $300,000 at stakes, 3-year-olds and up. AJ, who do you like?
Well, I'm going to go with the top 2 straight off the bat who were in the Pacific Classic in Tripoli and Tis the Magician. I think Tis the Magician is just so tough. He's always around and always looks good. Coming to California, looked really well so far, especially in the Tokyo City Cup, and like 4-1. He's so tough. I have to put him in there. And then of course Tripoli, who beat Tis the Magician, also has to be on my ticket. And then of course I have to include the Bob Baffert horse, Azul Coast. Azul Coast. I'll get a lot of flack for this because, look, I think me and Big Gary have been on this horse for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Liked him a lot in the 3-year-old season. I know he's never really looked good at going this distance, but coming back so far in 2020, when I look at the numbers and I see the type of improvement that I've been seeing, and I see 41 days off, and I see a 4-year-old coming back now who seems to be peaking. I get Bob Baffert. I get Cedillo. I really like this one on a big day like this to just blow everybody away and create a massive upset situation. So I'm going to include Azul Coast on my ticket. And 12-1, second longest shot on the board, him in midcourt. I'm going to take a shot with it. And then, of course, I'm going to include the other Baffert horse, that Medina Spirit horse, who no one really knows who he is, but, maybe he should be on
Never
the
heard of
ticket too. Yeah, no one knows who that is. He's clearly an underdog in this race, but and the clear speed as well, going in 1 1/8. He's on my ticket as well. I wanted to include midcourt because this is a horse who's been tangling with Maximum Security, towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
Comes to Santa Anita, has been off for 106 days. I don't know. It is a good long shot play as well, but those are the 4 I'm going to go with. I'm going to go 1, 7, 6, 5.
1, 7, 6, 5.
All right.
All
What do you
right.
like?
Me, I was going to let you guys go because I was going to steal your picks because this race is
Can I point
Yeah.
something out?
Yeah.
How about the Stiletto Boy is a gelding? Does anybody else think that's kind of funny?
Yeah.
It'd be funny if it was a Philly, but yeah, I mean,
Do you want to go or you want us to go first?
No, go ahead. You guys go because I
Okay.
really want to hear you guys on this because I'm.
This
really
race was a bit tough for me. I feel like we can make a case for almost everybody. So see, it was tough. I mean, Tis the Magician and Tripoli. I agree with AJ. I'm gonna play him because after that Pacific Classic performance, those horses both showed a lot. Midcourt, I went back and forth between Midcourt and Azul Coast, and I took Midcourt. I think this is an interesting play. He's coming back. The layoff's a bit nerve-wracking, but we got Maldonado in the irons, staying in the irons with him. I'm interested to see how this horse plays. I think it's definitely a horse to put into your exotics. Express Train, Stiletto Boy, those Express Train, I think he's probably better at a mile. Stiletto Boy, didn't look at that one, honestly. He did nothing to impress me. But another horse that I am playing as well, and another big question mark because he's coming off of a long layoff, a really long layoff, is Idol. Idol has raced against some tough competition, and now he's coming back and they're throwing him in a race like this.
You're on the Bravo train.
I know, which is so weird. Because I got so angry at Bravo after the Bing, and so I wouldn't bet him, and it would kick me in the butt. So maybe I'm just going to go Bravo heavy. I don't know. But no,
get her a Bravo shirt instead of a Breeders' Cup shirt.
I know.
Right? I'm actually just going to write on it. To say
Joe Bravo Cup.
The Joe Bravo Cup.
The bad situation.
Joe Bravo fan club.
So I went kind of deep here because I just felt like there were so many strong cases you could make for a lot of the horses here. I'm not putting Medina Spirit on my ticket. No reason other than I just think
anti-3-year-olds.
Oh, you're ageist.
I know I am ageist. It'll be interesting to see how Medina Spirit as a 3-year-old competes with these older horses. But I'm nothing against Medina Spirit. I think it's very
clearly
much
you do. Clearly,
if I wanted to make my ticket if I wanted to go even deeper than 4. I would throw Medina Spirit in there, but I wanted to do a few long shots here.
Gotta go
Idol. That's an interesting
to pick the 5-2 shot.
Yeah, no, I did 1, 2, 7, 8.
All right. Let's move on. Benny, what do you think?
Well, the race goes through Medina Spirit. There's no speed in here. Tis Magician's shortening up. This is a very short race for Tis Magician. I chart biases, and I had the Pacific Classic day as slightly front running and strongly favoring the inside. And as a result, I think that a couple of these runners benefited greatly, those being the winner and the runner up. So those are tosses for me. I think Tis Magician's actually going to show up in the marathon on Friday on Breeders' Cup Day. That horse wants to run about 17 miles.
TAA, not the marathon anymore. I just learned that today. That's why I said it.
Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance? Okay.
Yeah. I just learned that today. I wanted to throw that out there tomorrow.
Yeah. So I think that's where that horse shows up, and I think he'll probably win that race if I'm being honest. If you watch him in the Cougar, which was 1.5 miles, Pratt couldn't pull that horse up. He literally was like on the backstretch, like in complete defiance of being held up after the race. And Mandela talked about it afterwards. He's like, we're gonna head to the Pacific Classic. It's still a longer race for most, but my horse wants to run 2 miles. 1.8 miles is really short for him. We'll see what happens. And Medina Spirit is just faster than him. So Baffert runners tend to take it to the rest of the field, and I think that's what will happen. And Tis Magician will have to sit. And I think Medina Spirit gets a good trip and probably wires the field. That being said, if I were going to take a stab with anybody, I would agree with Sarah. I think Idol's interesting. The layoffs don't bother me. So he's in here for a reason. He's solid. He's never finished out of the money. I have nothing bad to say about Idol, but race goes through Medina Spirit. He'll probably wire the field. And Express Train's a little interesting also, only because of the track bias last time. The others had some big advantages, and his early trouble led to his demise, I think. And prior to that, he hadn't run a poor race. So I think the early trouble in combination with the track bias led to his defeat. So he's a little bit interesting, but it makes no sense to go 3 deep when you think the favorite's going to win. So in all likelihood, if I'm playing the pick 4, I'll probably single Medina Spirit.
There you go. Single Medina Spirit. There it is.
All right.
Tom, what do you
I would like to just ask a question about that. Are you concerned a little bit though, just because, like, what did Medina come back and run a mile?
Look, he worked poorly last time. I mean, the stance is this: if you watch his last work, I mean, I think he kind of got outworked. But he's literally either a single or he's a complete toss, right? So if you go 3 deep and he wins, you're on a dead ticket. You lose equity everywhere else. It just makes no sense to do anything otherwise. I think can potentially win. You could play it in a way where you're playing multiple tickets, but from a ticket writing perspective, which is by far the most important thing in horse racing,
right?
It would make no sense for me to go 3 deep. So that's where I'm at. Also, I don't even like this race. Like, I would be guessing against him. I know I don't like Tiz Magician, and I know I don't like the horse that ran second in the Classic, Tripoli. He just ran a top. He continues to inch forward, but I think that's based on the track bias and a good trip. So, I don't really like the race.
Oh, good.
Maybe
I'm
glad,
I'm
the all button. I have no idea.
I'm glad the guy who I used to take notes from just picks straight against me in every single way.
All right.
Oh, that makes sense.
No,
that's something.
This is horse racing. That's what makes it great, man. We can.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, okay. So with the whole Baffert situation, and I don't want to cut Tom off here, but like, do we think Medina's going to take a lot of money, or is it going to be more of an overlay?
He's going to take a lot of money.
Yeah, I think he'll.
Oh, he's going to take a crap ton of money.
He's going to be an overwhelming.
Yeah, but
you don't bet against
them. But the narrative out there right now is he was drugged up for the Derby and has to be clean now. I mean, that's the narrative that everyone's saying is. So no, like you.
This is a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
I know.
He's like Vladimir in the program, right? Is that what it is? He's gonna get.
Well, Vladimir sucked when he was off the road.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it. Yeah. All right. So we'll move on from that with Tom. Tom, what do you got here?
Yeah. Well, this Medina, I don't know. I'm gonna go against what Benny was just saying. It's a hard horse for me, and then just with the banning of the Kentucky Derby, the Pennsylvania Derby. I know that shouldn't matter, but just weird. But maybe Baffert wanted him to be in this race, probably. But talking about prices, I think we might see a price on that horse that AJ was talking about, Coast. I think we could catch a nice little price. It is a decent horse. Because I am playing Tripoli, hell of a dirt horse, beat Tiz a Magician, which I probably am going to put on my ticket. So I'm going to do one Tiz a Magician, Tripoli, and Coast. I did Medina Spirit. I just had to take off. I was really interested in Idol. I was really interested with Idol. And I may put him on, but he's not going to be on my original ticket because, like you both said, all he does is finish in the money. If I'm doing a trifecta for this race, he's definitely going to be on my ticket.
All right.
Easy enough for me. I'm almost going to hit the all button here because you know me. It's what I do.
Randall
Johnson. You guys hit everything that I can't say. I actually went weirdly enough around with Stiletto Boy trying to go to the lead with Medina Spirit and thought that might be a horse that might, cause some waves and things like that. But I couldn't go there. So I'm going to go 5 deep here. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I do think midcourt if midcourt gets too midcourt game, and I know we all do this, we all look back and say if midcourt runs its best race, but that I mean,
it's like a Whitmore in the Breeders' Cup situation.
Yeah,
like you let him get to like 10, 12 to 1, and then it's like, well, it's still that horse.
Yeah,
He's a magician. I like him longer. Absolutely, Benny hit that on the head. I do think he's going to get loose a lot. Midcourt with Maldonado on there, it is funny because he is such a good gate jockey. So, I mean, could Midcourt be around the turn with Medina Spirit? Because if that's the case, good luck. He hustles. So I can't not play it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, did I say 5 deep? I'm going 6 deep.
Okay.
7, 8.
7.
Because I can't. I mean, Tripoli. I think we're disrespecting a little bit, everybody.
I mean, at that point, why don't you just hit the all button?
I got him. I got him.
Disrespecting. I picked the horse.
So did I.
I feel like we're really like overlooking this horse. That might be something. Tripoli might be something. I think this horse.
No doubt.
Tell a lot. And
sounds like you're saying Chipotle, like the.
I know.
Yeah, I love Chipotle. Oh.
No doubt, and he had a nice workout just the other day too. At 5 furlongs at 5 furlongs. So yeah, I like that horse.
I mean, I like his trend. How he's like really trending up, going to the dirt and trending up. I don't know, Benny. You said you don't like it because of you think it's a track bias thing. You're not a fan of it.
Well, yeah, I'm just going off of his last race. He had a perfect trip down inside, and is he going to get that one today? Probably not. He's going to have to be tracking a horse that I feel is better than him in Medina Spirit. So is he going to get by, the Baffert? I would bet against that, but. The more you guys talk, I'm probably going to be rooting for midcourt because I'll be rooting for Edwin Maldonado this entire meet. So,
yeah.
But I don't really like the race. So that's my out.
No, I don't like this race either.
Yeah.
And real quick before we get to the last one, I want to ask you: do you think this holds a lot of weight for 3-year-olds right now? If Medina Spirit runs like 4th or 5th and doesn't show up, just say, do we just nothing in the classic for these 3-year-olds? Do you think that weighs something for like betting angles?
Are you asking me like at this time of the year, is it bad or good to be a 3-year-old?
No. I'm asking if Medina Spirit runs poorly, because this is the first 3-year-old to really go against 4-year-olds, a decent one, right? Or 3 and above, correct? If he runs bad, do you think that gives a bad taste for people like the 3-year-olds going to the classic? Like Essential Quality and others. Do you think a handicapper looks at that?
I don't know. Everyone's a little bit different. I mean, I do, but I tend to look early in the year, right? So they write races for 3 or up at Oaklawn at the end of January, which is ridiculous, right? They do the same thing at Fairgrounds. So some of these tracks, there are big advantages to just looking at age only. In fact, the first year that I played in the NHC, when I got to the final table, I had 2 limit horses that were at Oaklawn that were 4-year-olds that simply were first-time starters running against younger. But, it is October. I equate it to like October as a 3-year-old to me is like, a 19-year-old. So if I'm 30, do I want to race my 19-year-old? Probably not. He's probably going to kick my ass anyway. So I look at it as like kind of a measuring stick with humans, right? So earlier in the year, they might be kind of like 16 years old, so they have some maturing to do
throughout the year.
Filling out, but yeah, this time of year, I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, it does.
I don't think it'll be a knock against the horse if he
I meant
against the crop rather.
Yeah, the crop. But it's funny you said that because I do think something in the program should be the actual date of birth. I swear to you. I think that would.
Well, they give you the month. They give you the month.
They give you the full month. Oh yeah, they do, don't they? I should probably figure that out. No, I want the date.
But you want to know if he's born.
I want the date and the time.
If that Mayfold is born on May 1st or May 3rd, he wants to know.
Or the May 31st.
31st, though. I want but no, and it is weird because somebody was a late full. Oh,
Authentic.
We'll get on. No, Authentic was a little bit, but no. There's been like, who's the one we just watched? 50-1. What's that horse?
Mind That Bird?
Mind That
Mind That
Bird
Bird.
was actually 2 years old by birth when he won the Kentucky Derby, which is crazy.
Mind That Bird was?
2
by
years old.
birth.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
By like and like not turning 3 for like 2 weeks after. Some of them have been right around it, but yeah, Mind That Bird.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about Mind That Bird.
Well, you know what, Benny? You hang around with me long enough, you're going to learn a lot of dumb
Yeah,
shit.
I've already learned something today.
And pick up a
He's
lot.
still
of bad
hanging out
habits.
there in New Mexico, I think, or somewhere out there.
I'm closing my blinds.
He's leaving now. He's like, I'm done.
I learned what I needed to today. Yep,
Right.
he's gone.
And the worst
my
part is
blinds.
I made it
I need to
up.
close my
I made
blinds.
that whole thing up. No, it's actually true. It's true. It is
Interesting.
true. Yeah. Well,
He's
so, yeah,
also
that is.
he's
And
thrown
that's
out a
what
lot
we
of
do.
like false facts on this show though before too.
That's a good movie.
No, we think they're true. We don't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But no, that's actually true. You guys can look that up.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well,
I would.
Yeah, we know.
I would. If anyone's on the, I will say this: if anyone's on the fence with Medina Spirit, you can go to ExpressBet and watch his last work, and it's not very good. So that's kind of a knock. Usually, some of these trainers, they work bad, and you can kind of throw it out. Doesn't mean a whole lot. I will say Bob is one where his horses tend to show up on the track as they do in the morning, and he didn't work all that well. So for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I
goes
was
the
there
other
when he
back.
worked, but I didn't actually
It's
watch.
worth a lot.
I didn't know he was running. All right, let's move on. We got that now. So
Let's go to
That's
the
fine.
last race of the card for Saturday. It is the Grade 2 John Henry Turf Championship, $200,000, mile and a quarter for 3-year-olds. AJ, who do you like here?
Well, we've been in this situation before, have we not? Where you've got the favorite United to try to bring home our pick 4, our pick 5s, and we got astronauted. I think who came on the show and literally did like it was Chip came on the show, went like all United. Vic did, yes.
no,
Vic, was it Vic? Or no, Vic had astronaut.
No, Ryan Dickey.
No,
picked the
Ryan
all-
Dickey,
yeah.
that's right.
all the way
But
to
Vic picked
United.
astronaut. Yeah.
And here we are again. And guess what I'm going to do this time? I'm not even going to play that guy because he let me down last time. I can't count on him anymore. He hasn't won since March March at Santa Anita. And all of the horses who are in this race have already beat him this year. So, yeah, I'm going to fade United 100% because he let all of us down last time. So I can't count on him. I'm going to go with award winner. For other reasons, I think the numbers
For no reason whatsoever.
yeah. So I'm going award winner because Frey has beaten me a bunch of times when I've played any Southern California track. So at 12-1, sure. I was going to talk about it more, but I guess I'm not now. The other one, Friars Road, I think is an interesting horse because first time it ran on the turf, it won in a 72K allowance race at distance close to this. I love the idea of it coming back since I just kind of would love to see what he does here now. And if I'm going to get 15-1, I'm going to go with it. And then Masterpiece, who was second to when we all got astronauted back in that Grade 2 Del Mar a couple of weeks ago. Coming back now, I mean, look, this horse is run with the best of them, and just domestic spending and Trip Huven, however you want to pronounce it, Channel Maker, all the likes. I think the quality of horses this horse has seen is a lot better than the horses that are running in this race now. So I'll take the horses 5-1. So I'm going 1-7-12.
1-7-12. All right, Tom, why don't you
Wow.
go?
Sure. I just like to say, can you guys get a picture of yourself in front of the John Henry statue? This is the John Henry Classic, correct? That we're talking about.
We'll do that.
There's a John Henry statue at Santa Anita. You have to do like a little clip. He's one of my favorite horses ever because he came in as like nobody knew who he was until he was like about 4 or 5, or when horses are now retiring. But
Because
anyway,
you're
that's enough
you're
about
both
that.
old guys with no balls, so it's
Yeah, it's I kind of have something in common with him. But no, yeah, it's cool. He's got a statue right there. He has a statue at Arlington too. Hopefully they don't knock that down, or maybe they'll make the bears around that.
Maybe we can get that on eBay or something for you.
Yeah,
that'd be great. That would be great. Well, this is another fun race, another fun turf race. I went a little bit deeper here than AJ, but let's start it out. I think that the 4 United. I mean, Mandel and the turf. Tough luck with that last race, but just lost by a nose. He is going to be. I have no vendetta against horses like some people who wear Colts jerseys do. I also like the. I also
hasn't
like
been a back-to-back winner of this race since 2000, 21 years. So
okay. Okay, I didn't interrupt you.
You're off the rails with these two guys that go at it like this all the time. Go ahead.
I do like the 2 Camino. That horse last race showed that it can win on the green stuff.
El Camino, a terrible car.
Yes, agree. Are you going to comment on every single one of my picks?
Yes, probably.
I went 4 deep. The 7, and then no, I like the 7. I do. This is going to be if we see late paces in this scenario. I think that just looking at this horse, looking at the past works, had that as a nice little bit of a late kick, and could factor in. I'm going to play this horse both vertically and horizontally. And Neptune Storm, the 3. I mean, I'm looking at Brisnet, and the prime figures are above and beyond any other horse. Clearly, and it's also I like the class rating as well. So I have 2, 3, 4, and 7, and a picture of the John Henry statue.
All right. So Tom goes 4 deep because he's never gone 2 deep before.
Oh, gagging up on me now.
Oh, there we go. All right.
You're welcome.
Did you not handicap?
I didn't handicap at all. No, I did. I have my picks. You go. Well, Benny, go. Benny, he's chomping at the bit over here. He wants to go. Let's go.
No, I'm good. I do have 3%, so I think my phone's gonna crash anyway. But
he wants to get off. It's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, go.
I've got nothing bad to say about United. He was loaded for bear last time in the turn. He was behind a wall. He got pushed. He was trying to push through a hole, and he's just a big old guy, and he didn't quicken fast enough, and the hole closed, and he got shut off. He should have won that race. He cut to the rail. He galloped out well in front. He should have won, but he didn't. That's turf racing. Best horse rarely wins in turf racing, but I've got nothing bad to say about him. AJ, award winner. I'm with you a little bit. I don't think he's going to win. I do think he's going to work out a real nice pocket trip. And I think he could offer some real value in the underneath plays in verticals. So he's kind of interesting to me. The horse I like the most is Masterpiece. Masterpiece just had a brutal turf trip last time. He was wide all the way around the course, and then Rider Air lost him that race. He was threatened right-handed, and when he whipped, he lugged in. He had to stall and then re-level, and he just missed. He very likely could have won that race with a different ride. Unfortunately,
he got astronaut.
I hate saying this, but that rider doesn't use his left hand well. So unless he corrects himself, the same thing might happen again. And very interesting, Red King last time. Red King did not switch leads through the first turn. He didn't switch leads through the home stretch the first time around. He turned again and ran part of the back stretch all on the same lead. That is a recipe for failure, and he still ran pretty well. So Red King to me is a little bit interesting also. He actually tried to hit a narrow spot and earn the pocket into the far turn, and he got shut off. So he had some trouble in the stretch as well. I think the winners coming out of that race, there's several common opponents in it, but I think most likely the winner comes from 4, 7, or 10. So nothing too spectacular, but my top choice would be the 7. And I'm down to 1%. So
Okay.
Real quick to do. I love that. I love that McCarthy gets that horse too, and then should have won that race, and now you get another shot at it as well.
Yeah, he's the other McCarthy. He's just legit. McCarthy's a real horse trainer. This guy's really, really good. First time off of Chad, and the horse ran lights out. It was not fluky. In fact, that's what I wrote in my trip. I said nothing about this horse's effort reeked of aberration or fluke. This was a nice run. So he's legit.
Okay, before your phone runs out, tell everybody out there where they can get everything before it runs out. So let them know right now.
Just head to Santa Anita. Go to santanita.com, look under handicappers. There's a link in there. Sign up. You'll get an email, and you'll get the whole meet for free. So it's about 12 hours a day of trips that you get that you don't have to do. So why wouldn't you?
Wow.
Why not?
Makes sense.
It's incredible. I'm going to put a link in the comments.
All right. See ya.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's
Good call by me, by the way.
All right, see you, Benny.
Phone's
Thanks,
still
Ben.
here.
Oh, you still there? I can't see. Oh no, he's
still there. His phone's not off.
Yeah,
But he left.
he disappeared.
Well, that's all right. It was
All
great
right.
to have Benny on. We
Yeah,
interacted
cool.
with Twitter for so long, and now I've
can-
actually
yeah.
seen. But I
Actually,
put-
happy we had a couple horses.
now to be
Great
good.
on
and
board.
we'll see him soon on Public Source Radio.
Yeah,
And,
hold on. But I just put a link.
Wait a minute. Stop. Everyone stop. Did he think his phone died and he left? Because
We're gonna pull him out because something
Great,
bad happened.
there you go.
No, we did
There
that.
he is.
I did
Oh,
that.
Great at handicapping, not a tech guy.
There we go. All right.
Good diet.
But it was such a pleasure to finally
That was great.
see Benny and see the man behind the tweets. And I did put a
Awesome.
link to his trip notes in the chat. So everybody, it's free to sign up. Like I said, it's free the whole Santa Anita meet, which shout out to Santa Anita for doing that. That's
That's
fantastic.
great.
Awesome.
Awesome for Benny. I
Good
read through his
content.
notes for Friday's races, and I'm telling you, like you're gonna miss out on a lot if you're not gonna sign up. So check it out. But
Hardly anything is free.
Well, and
Yeah.
even so, like I said, I think during the week it's free for everyone who signs up. Obviously, Santa Anita is free the whole card, but even if you're playing like Belmont on Thursday, that's free as well, as far as I remember. But yeah, a lot of free content there, so it's all good.
Good, but I know everybody out there that's
always
watching really wants to hear my picks in the last.
No,
race.
Are you ready?
Everyone
Did you
forgot
win?
that you didn't give your picks.
I thought you went first.
Yeah,
No,
didn't you pick like the 6 and the 5 or something? I don't remember.
no, didn't do that.
No.
I'm going. This is easy. I'm going straight up masterpiece. I'm singling masterpiece here.
You're singling him.
Yes,
Wow.
because I don't have that much
Wow.
money. And I just went 5 deep in the last race, so
Fair
I'm going
enough.
to single him. And if I had to play other ones, I'm curious about Cupid's Claw here. I have to say.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious to see if this horse has second off with a new trainer. No, not second. First with a new trainer.
Yeah,
right?
first.
With a new trainer.
With
This horse
with
we
Peter,
want
yeah.
to run forever.
He can, but my biggest concern is he's kind of been going downhill. Then they took him up to Golden Gate. Didn't do great up there, and now they're bringing him back.
We lost a midcourt. Right? We didn't-
The old man.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious because this is a horse that beat Tiz the Magician for fun. Then he got beat by Tiz the Magician, but
Right.
beat him for fun last year. And going to the turf, I'm curious. I'm just curious, but I'm gonna
Yep.
just play masterpiece.
all right.
That's
Wow.
Big
Nice.
masterpiece
yeah,
here.
agreed on that one.
No, that's an underneath play for sure, though. Like,
Yeah, keep it
if you're
claw,
looking
of
for a
course.
price, yeah.
I would
Yeah, I
say
would agree with
definitely put it.
Interesting what Benny said
about.
about the jockey though, not going left-handed with Masterpiece.
The Drayden, he's talking about Drayden. He didn't want to say any names, but that Drayden.
Yeah.
Van Dyke,
No, I know.
But he's staying on him,
Mhm.
and it's
Yep.
weird. Well, no. What didn't he say?
He was
Oh, I'm
talking Red
sorry.
King.
Red King.
Oh, he was talking about Red King. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. He said no. He said the Degen thing with Masterpiece. But no, he couldn't switch leads. That's really interesting. That's a nice angle for everybody out there.
Yeah.
If he couldn't switch leads and he was around, that means a horse when he switches leads is going to win. Probably. I mean, it's clumsy when they don't, and you can see that.
Well, and look, that's what Trip Note Pros give you, man. I mean,
that's what you get.
Good plug for them.
There
Good
you
for
go.
them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is. He'll be
All
all
right,
over
I'll
the place.
quickly give my picks. I went too deep. I did one award winner. I know AJ and Benny talked about this horse. He has the distance. He won at this day. He won the Grade 2 Whittingham at Santa Anita.
That's what the note I had before Randy made fun of me and I just moved on was the fact that you can't hold Del Mar against him because clearly Santa Anita is that horse's track.
Yeah.
Over Del Mar. Like he's so much better there.
Wait. So AJ, who'd you have again?
1-7-12.
It doesn't matter who you.
Yeah, well, you got to do it before I finish if it's gonna work.
Oh, anyways.
Good try.
Okay. Anyways, I did the 1. I also did the 7. I'm not going to say too much more about Masterpiece. I think all the points have been hit about how Masterpiece.
Does everybody have Masterpiece here? At 5-1?
I do.
Yep, everybody has Masterpiece.
Everybody's a Masterpiece at 5-1. I think everybody kind of had Vertical Threat too at 6-1. So we had some plays that everybody.
There are some diverse. I'm going to quickly go through everyone's picks. For the late pick 4, this is for Saturday race, starting with race 8. AJ had the 1-2-5 with the 3-4, with the 1-5-6-7, with the 1-7-12. Randy had the 2-3-6 with the 4-8, with the 1-2-3-5-7-8 with the 7. Tom had 1-2-5 with the 1-4-7, with the 1-6-7, with the 2-3-4-7. Benny had the 3-5-6 with the 7-8, with the 5, with the 4-7-10, and I had 2-4 with the 1-4, with the 1-2-7-8, with the 1-7.
Wow.
Follow us on Twitter. I will put all of that up on Twitter tomorrow morning.
That's impressive.
Benny threw a 6. Wow, 6 and 2. Like a $12 ticket, a $6 ticket at us. It's not bad.
No
one going on Acclimate in that last race, huh?
I went back and forth on Acclimate.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I thought there'd be one person that picked him.
Yeah.
I just really like Masterpiece. And if I played 2, I'd play.
So I.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I really, really liked Master.
1,000% Acclimate wins that last race now.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, at least
no doubt.
At least now we're telling people.
So we can clip to me going 1,000% Acclimate wins that last race and makes us look really good.
And there's your clip.
We should
And there's your clip.
One of us saying every horse in the race, and then we put it out.
Whichever one wins. Oh, yeah.
Let's face it,
This
not enough
person
people are
called.
watching us that they're going to call us out.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All
All
right.
right.
Friars Road.
Friars Road, without a doubt. Switch to the turf. Liked it a lot.
Like Ready
Love to see
Soul.
what he does here. Gonna improve. Probably win. No doubt
Ready
about
Soul's
it.
got a good jockey.
Funny thing about Count of Amazonia. I think this horse is going to win this easy. I mean, if you look at it,
goodness.
Espinoza board, he's hot right now. Ran a half length off. People don't realize. I'm going with Count of Amazonia.
Clearly,
all
KP systems
go.
all yes.
That's what I was going to go with. Oh,
Everybody's on that one.
That's just too long of a name.
Horse is now winning race
All right,
11.
now we're just
So,
confusing people more than we
All right,
already do.
yes,
Media blitz gonna win, no doubt about it. Hernandez, Callahan got astronaut last time, but before that, won at Del Mar.
I feel like we should cut these after we're online.
yeah, when we're
That's a
not
good point.
I
live.
think it's
So,
funny when we
really
do
quick, let's wrap up the show before everyone starts to hate us even more. But thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thanks for Benny for jumping on. Like I said, we have the link here in our chat. Check us out on Twitter. Check all of us out on Twitter. We have it retweeted on Degen as well as the Triple Clowns. It's free for the whole Santa Anita meet. An epic value there.
That's a good deal.
Thanks for Tom for jumping on as well. Welcome back from
Always.
vacation.
I'll
Hollywood
be back. I
400.
got to catch up and do a couple shows, and so I don't get kicked off of this one too.
I know. You got
You've
to hold
already
your
been fired
contract
from
down.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I've been
All
fired
right.
from a couple shows. So.
And everyone from the Triple Clowns at Degen Nation, good luck.
It's me with a trophy, by the way. I heard you're trying to top me.
Yeah, try winning some money there, actually betting it. Instead of stealing other people's trophies.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Thanks for everybody.
Thank you.